Hey guys, Barrett here. Welcome back to another video. Glad you're here. Today we're talking about shoes. Are there any such thing as pickleball shoes? What's the whole deal with this? Do I have to have an outdoor shoe, an indoor shoe? Can I wear my running shoes? Can I just pick any shoe out of my closet? Today I'm going to help clear up all the confusion and then tell you a little bit about what I've learned over the years about pickleball shoes. Alright, so what's the deal with pickleball shoes? As of right now, in May 2018, there's no such thing as a pickleball shoe. But that doesn't mean that we can come really close. There are plenty of options for pickleball players when it comes to getting a shoe, but you have to be really careful. And the reason is because in pickleball, there are a lot of lateral movements, okay? Lateral movements is when you go from, I'm not going to do it here, but it's when you go from side to side. You see it a lot at the kitchen when you shuffle over to get a shot, those are lateral movements. The problem with lateral movements is that if you're not wearing a shoe that's supporting you on the sides, then you can actually roll your ankle. I've seen it. I've seen this, and it's not pretty. It's not fun at all. And so people like me who teach pickleball and get beginners into it and so on, we're really serious about getting the right kind of shoe, and that's what I want to go over first, is what shoes to avoid, because there's quite a few. Any kind of open shoe, absolutely not. Sandals, flip-flops, I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? Hiking boots, like definitely not. Trail running shoes, big time no, definitely not, because it gives you a false sense of confidence, right? It's like, oh, these look athletic and tennisy, right? They should be fine. No, definitely not. And the last one to avoid are running shoes, believe it or not. When I first started playing pickleball, I went into my closet and I picked out a pair of athletic looking shoes and said to myself, these look tennisy, right? And they should work fine. Definitely not. It was a huge mistake. I didn't roll my ankle, but boy, I was having some issues with the bottom part of my legs with shin splints and stuff like that because of that. So those are the shoes that you want to avoid. It includes running shoes. So, having said that, let's look at the shoes that are fine. All right, now you may not be able to see me very well, but here I have 3 different types of shoes that I want to show you. Now, I just talked about running shoes. These are the running shoes that I started with when I played pickleball for the first time. And let me just show you what they look like here. This is why we don't recommend running shoes, okay? The lateral movements, again, they go like this, okay? Look at the lack of support here on the side. I can squish this thing all the way down. You see that? I'm doing that just with my thumb, okay? Now, let's switch over to a running shoe. I'm sorry, a tennis shoe. Look at this. Like, I can hardly get this down. There's so much support here for my foot. Not only that, but also in the midsole here. Whenever you knock on the midsole of a tennis shoe, you can feel this hard plasticky material inside there. On a running shoe, there's typically not much that's going to be here. I mean, look at that. I call it shoe yoga. Like, look what I can do with this, right? This is why we don't wear running shoes. They're too flexible. They're designed to go forward and not side to side. When it comes to the proper shoe to wear, you've pretty much got 2 options. The first option is just regular tennis shoes. Now, I mentioned this earlier about those athletic looking shoes that you have in your closet. A lot of people will call those tennis shoes, or at least when I was a kid, I called them tennis shoes, but they're not actually tennis shoes. This is an actual tennis shoe. And as you can see, you've got the shoe is fully enclosed, but there's very little mesh. Okay? That's the sign of a tennis shoe. There's hardly any mesh on here. It bends at the toe box. It doesn't bend in the middle. Okay, again, for that lateral support. And it's extremely bulky and very heavy. You can't see it on here, but these are significantly heavier than the running shoes. I'm saying significantly. I mean, it's a big difference, okay? Tennis shoes are a good option if you're playing outdoors a lot, mainly because of the flat sole. This is great for tennis courts. Whether it's indoors or outdoors doesn't really matter, but typically if you're playing pickleball on tennis court, it'll be outdoors. So you definitely want that flat sole. This will help you get traction on that tennis court material. However, a lot of us play indoors, and this is the number one shoe that everyone recommends is a court shoe. These are court shoes. Now, what is a court shoe? All it is basically just an indoor gymnasium shoe for, it could be volleyball, it could be badminton, it could be racquetball, and now it's pickleball. The cool thing about buying a court shoe is that there are tons of reviews and advice and experiences that people have had with court shoes already, so that when you buy one, you already know that they work, right? For other sports, again, like badminton and racquetball and so on. A court shoe is basically the middle road between a running shoe and a tennis shoe. It's not as bulky as a tennis shoe, but it's not super lightweight like a running shoe either, okay? So again, it bends at the toe box, which means that there's a lot of stuff around here to support your shoe. This is nice and hard and tough. And there's tons of support back here at the heel. I mean, it's really hard stuff. However, there's plenty of mesh material, like that. Very flexible up here. And that gives you the ability to move quickly on the court and have lots of flexibility throughout your play without hindering you, right? Without risking rolling your ankle. And that's why people typically recommend a court shoe for pickleball. The other thing about a court shoe is, of course, you have the flat sole, unlike a running shoe that will have tread on here. You definitely don't want that. On a court shoe, you've got the flat sole, but you've got the rubber bottoms, right? That's a big sign that you're looking at a court shoe. This will give you great grip on gymnasium floor, but it also won't leave marks. So if the coordinator at your gym or the rec center or whatever doesn't want to leave marks on the ground, a court shoe is a great way to go. All right, guys, so just to wrap up, make sure that you avoid any kind of open shoe or definitely a running shoe. I understand that when people get started for the first time, they'll typically wear their running shoes, but it could lead to you eventually rolling your ankle. Believe me, you don't want to go there. Your best option is a court shoe. This is the one that I wear. It's the Asics. I think it's the Rocket 8s. They're amazing because I mainly play indoors. They're incredible. But for outdoor play, I typically wear the Asics Gel Resolution 7s. Again, Asics is a great brand. In terms of durability, they're pretty good. I mean, shoes are shoes. You know, they don't last for very long, especially if you want to be at the top of your game. But in general, getting a court shoe is going to be the best bet for you. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. If you want to see more, go to pickleballkitchen.com/shoes for more information. I'll see you guys next time.